One of the most successful sports ads made in recent years. An ad by the telecom giant Orange during the Women's World Cup last year, which cleverly transformed supposed male footballers into real-life women players.
Ah, c'est passé. Oui, c'est passé. Oui, bien sûr que c'est passé. Maintenant, il faut que ça aille au bout. Allez. Ouais, c'est bien joué. Il n'y a plus qu'à la pousser. Il n'y a plus qu'à la pousser. Elle est belle, cette équipe. Ouais, c'est ça. Le football qu'on aime. C'est ça. Les Bleus qu'on aime.
This is an excellent reminder of our deeply held biases about women's sport and has won prizes the world over, including this year's Gerety Awards, which have just been announced. The Gerety Awards are the only ones to have female-only juries. A personal disclaimer here, I was a member of this year's Paris jury, and joining me now is fellow jury member Claudia Ilan, a copywriter for the Marcel Agency, to talk about sexism in the industry. Claudia, thank you so much for coming in. My understanding is that France still has very, very few women chief creative officers in the industry. Why do you think that's the case?
Well, I think that's something that happens in a lot of industries, but I was researching a little bit about this, and I saw that particularly in the advertising, in the tech, and even in the entertainment industry, this is the case. And I think it's quite interesting because when you look at the entry level, you have 50-50, but when it starts going into creative director or CCOs, you go down to 25% if you are lucky, which I think is insane. And I think one of the reasons might be because there's a very big difference in the maternity-paternity leave. So maternity leave here is 16 weeks. Paternity leave, and this has changed quite recently, is 25 days.
But what impact does that have on the final product?
I think we in the advertising industry have a duty to represent society as we see it or as we would like it to be. Because it's been proven, even, when we're working advertising, we're like, oh, but we're not saving lives, it's just an ad. But a lot of data shows that actually people are affected by advertising, like the way we see ourselves, the way we see ourselves represented, or the role of a woman in an ad can shape the way we think a woman should be. Like, should the woman be doing the grocery shopping, or should the woman just be a sidekick, or should the woman be represented like in the ad, dynamic, powerful, strong. So it is our duty to represent women in a dynamic, powerful, and strong way. But if there are no women making decisions about the outcome of the ad, then maybe we are not doing that job.
And then you're reinforcing sexist stereotypes, aren't you?
Yes, I think now there's a lot of work being done, not only from the advertising agencies themselves, where we obviously want to push a different product and we want to have a good female representation, and we want to have a woman driving a car when it's a car ad and not always a man, and we want to have, a woman be the face of a sports brand, not just because she's a female athlete, but just because she's an athlete, and that's that. But also, I think there's a change in the client mindset, because they know that if you represent women in a better light, or just in the light it should be, you're going to have a better brand value in the long term with women, because women are buyers, like women are your consumers. And if we see ourselves in a light that we don't like, we're not going to like your brand and we're not going to buy you. So I think it's going both ways. We're trying to shift that.
And when it comes to the ad that we've just seen, the Orange ad, that went viral because it challenged all of our deeply internalised stereotypes about women in sports, didn't it?
Absolutely. And I think a very interesting thing about the ad is that when the creative team thought about it, they didn't think about it to target it to women. They thought about it targeted to men because they thought about, all of those men who are, commenting on social media like, oh, female soccer, it sucks, it's not entertaining, they're not as good as male players. So they thought, okay, what if we get into the media that they love, rewatching all these amazing plays by male footballers, and we trick them to change their perception. We make them think, oh, you're watching this Griezmann or whatever, but in truth, you're watching female soccer without you knowing. So you're already exposed to the greatness of French female soccer. And one of the very interesting things is that it actually had a very positive impact with young girls. So you have comments on social media from teachers saying, I'm showing this in my class, because it inspires young women to want to become athletes, because they see how good these women are at their sport.
But according to a study by Nielsen, roughly 75% of all consumer decisions will be made or influenced by women by the year 2028. So if you're boiling it down to just simply making money, it's extremely counterproductive to ignore that trend, surely.
I think we have to understand that women are buyers, and women make most of the buying decision making in a household. That's how it is. They influence everything from buying a car for a family to what shampoo we're going to have at home to what they want to buy for themselves. So I think it's very important for marketeers to acknowledge that it's not only 50% of the population, but it's also a major decision power driver.
So finally, how do you remedy that? How do you get people inside the industry and those that they work with, their clients, to understand the importance of gender equality?
Well, I think on one hand, within the industry, one thing that we need to do is we need to shine a spotlight on female advertisers, on women who are actually in leading positions or women who will be in leading positions. I think because, like the ad that we saw, I think this will inspire younger women also to become part of the industry. I think we need to make a change, or it would be amazing to make a change on the roles we put in the household, especially with the paternity-maternity leave. Another thing that I think is that we need to stop thinking about having token women, but actually having a woman there because she does a great job, and that's just how it is. And in advertising, your portfolio says it, like, that's it. You look at someone's website. And also, to sell it to a client, we can not only talk about the fact that you can have a positive impact in the world, but also it's good business. That's just facts.
Claudia, it's been lovely speaking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's it for this edition. But in the meantime, we would love to hear from you. So do reach out with your suggestions via Facebook, Instagram or X. So until the next show, bye for now.